Alright, well, today, I'm gonna be reviewing my time and my experience with WWE 2K20. Over the past few years, I've actually had a lot of fun with this game, despite minor bugs and iffy models of the wrestlers and all, the small stuff. And I don't sweat, but overall, here's my review of the game. Alright, so we're gonna start off with 2K Central here. And in here you can play a bunch of classic matches that have happened in the past. I've never done any, clearly. And then there is 2K Central Towers, which are essentially fantasy matches, I'm assuming. There's a lot of matches I really just don't care about. But I've unlocked everything by clicking one button, so a lot of these things I don't really care about. So I'm never going to do them. And a lot of these are really random if you ask me. But there are a bunch of nerds out there who are like, oh wow, look at these fantasy matches. Like, yeah, shut up. But yeah, that's that. And then let's go on over to 2K Originals. Now these things are super fantasy based in super odd settings. They're all DLC. A few, I don't really think I've really played them, really. I think I played one or two, and they're kind of whoever designed these, like, script matches, and it's like, and then all these rewards you get after defeating these, it's like, it's like, it's not even worth it to play it, really. I mean, you're getting all this next to useless gear. For what? Like, what the hell I'm gonna make with all this trash? None of my people are gonna look like they're coming out of an apocalypse, you know? Like, it's kind of dumb. This one, I think I unlocked the Fiend in this DLC, so I got it. Yeah. But it was kind of weird. A little bit of it was creepy. It was okay. I think I played a little bit of this. I couldn't really get into it because I don't really care about the theme of wrestling. So... And then Empire Tomorrow, I think I played like 2 matches and I was just like, this is dumb. So, that's my review of the 2K Originals. On to the next one. Alright, so here is WWE 2K20 My Player. So, in this essential story mode, you play as 2 best friends, 1 person of each gender. It was a pretty, like, a good story for, in my opinion. It was kind of a good switch up. It wasn't like, well, I mean, it was still kind of the same, rise to WrestleMania fame as you do almost every year, but you kind of do it as 2 people for now. Also, the rewards in this are kind of lame. You unlock a bunch of people. I mean, I've had them all unlocked already, but the rewards in this aren't really fun. But anyways, yeah, like, look at all this useless ass gear, man. Like, and I can't even get half of it because you can't even play the Road to Glories. And like, what are these? I can't even get those. Anyways, moving on. So there's a skill tree. I got, I guess, the majority of it. I'm not sure if it's supposed to form something cool, but I think it was cool to have a skill tree like that instead of just raising your stats. Also, you can like upgrade your skills and whatever, like all the things you can do in a regular create a wrestler mode. You can just do it in here as well, but with 2 of your people. I think for the first time ever, the people that you create in story mode do not go over into your regular roster, I believe. Yeah, that's what it is. So after you beat the initial story mode, you can go do your own character's 2K Towers. You can unlock some more stuff, blah, 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 up their stats with more matches that way, because you can't replay the story mode for some reason, which I kind of find lame. So, but it is what it is. It's okay. It's a hit and miss. So, overall, I had fun with it though. But then, that's kind of what counts. Alright, and now let's hop into 2K20's Universe mode, aka GM mode without all the money. Yeah, it's just essentially GM mode. You can do literally everything, customize your roster, customize your championships, customize the matches, It's literally just GM mode without the money. Like, I don't know why people like it. They will buy this game just to play GM mode, and that is it. And, you know, I just don't understand having the stress of caring about your budget, caring about this or that, or your show's ratings. Like, I do not care. I care about just putting two people in a ring and I'm gonna kick their ass. That's what I really care about. That's the fun part. Just having fun. I never took wrestling seriously, never will. It's just people entertaining us with their bodies, entertaining us with their character stories. So, but anyways, yeah, this is just a okay GM mode. Moving on. Alright, so we're just going to skip online, go straight into creations. I have a little bit to say about creations. It was pretty good this year. There were a lot, not really actually a lot, but like a few bugs with the hair, clothes. I mean, sometimes the material would never change and it would always be shiny for some reason. The skin, you could never not have oil on your skin. Like, your skin just stays shiny all the time, and I will never understand why they never fixed that. But there is a absolute fuck ton of customizations in this. The only real problem I had when I customized people was, like, it's kind of hard to customize the face. I just never could really get it right. It's kind of you know. I just don't know how to feel about it. Like, they have you drag some grid on a face and it's like, it's kind of boring, and it's just weird because you can't like copy one side to the other. Customizing faces on this game was not very optimized well. Clothes for your created wrestler, they were actually scaled extremely well. I mean, they scaled really great to your wrestler, but as far as the material, or maybe sometimes the colors, I think the developers really painted over old objects from the last game in 2K19, and they just kind of just painted over it, you know, for this game, and they didn't really pay any mind to it. But sometimes when you change the color and material, it will show like last year's boot. Like, I think Mandy Rose has a boot, and if you change the color, it will show something completely different from like last year's boot that isn't really even in the current game. But that doesn't really happen often, but it is there. So, but overall, I think customizing people was a great experience. Things fit relatively well for most people. One thing I did notice is, for some reason, if you put socks on a woman and they're wearing heeled shoes or boots, their foot's not gonna work so well. I have an invisible foot. Like, I don't know how they... I don't even know how to describe this. This is just funny. But to finish off on the created wrestler aspect of, you know, putting clothes on, I'm pretty sure if you really change your body size and, you know, like your muscle mass a bunch, it will affect the way some clothes fit, but not like everything. But some clothes will fit differently if you change the scale of your body. Moving on. Alright, so one thing before we actually move on from the creative wrestler aspect, as far as your creative wrestler goes, your hair is going to be just fine no matter what you really put on them. They're scaled just fine, but as far as people already in the game, their hair physics aren't that great. Sorry, so now moving on. Alright, so now we're going to talk about character models. Now, a lot of these problems have to do with putting older faces on younger bodies, or vice versa. Or sometimes the faces just look kind of, they're out of place. Like, you can tell it's them, but it looks so off. Something about it is extremely off. Like Brock Lesnar here, like, someone told me that he looked kind of off, and once he said it, I was like, yeah, you're not wrong. But Edge, I mean, it looks like Edge, but it doesn't look like Edge. Like, they just didn't spend much time modeling the face, and that is definitely a problem quite a few of these models had. Like, what the fuck is he looking at? Oh, especially John Cena here. His entrance is messed up forever, and they will never fix it until the day we die. Now his hair, whether you wear a hat or not, his hair will not spawn on the top of his head during his entrance, whether you're wearing a hat or not. And he has this little flap of hair in the back. Kurt Angle has his current aged face on his old, younger body. That sounded really stupid, but he just looks old on a younger body. Same thing with Undertaker. He has his current old face on his younger body. I mean, it's cool we have Badass Undertaker, but they didn't do anything with the face. It just looks out of place. But other than that, everyone else is just about fine. Alright, so before we move on to lighting and gameplay for the finale of the video, here's just a quick, sped up video of their zoomed in faces. You can see that they look like them, but they definitely aren't proper models. Alright, so lighting overall in this game, I would definitely give like an 8 out of 10 or 8.5 out of 10. It's a great improvement over the last game, and probably the best lighting I've ever seen in a wrestling game, period. Light bounces off of body parts, it bounces off the muscles, it shades super well. For some reason in the ring, like during entrances, I don't know, I just don't really see a lot of lighting in the ring itself. I know it's like really well lit in the ring in real life and what all, but like the lighting never really affects the ring, and I don't know why. Everything in the crowd and the entrance ramp has really cool lighting, but then you get to your ring and you're just like, why is it so bland in here? But other than that, lighting in this game is super great, the way shading works. One thing I have noticed in this game, it is super dark where there is dark areas. Like usually it's an overall well lit and the shades aren't that dark, but in this game the blacks are really dark blacks. And I'm not even complaining, I actually like that better than a super well lit arena. You can see everything. I prefer a dark arena, it's like, that's just my aesthetic. But anyways, let's move on to the gameplay, shall we? Alright, so let's see, let's get into gameplay. I think this year was like the most fun I've ever had in a wrestling game since like maybe 2008, just because of the weapons alone. The shit you can do and the way they sometimes interact makes you fucking cringe. It makes you go, holy shit. Now, sometimes the animations are like, rather not on spot, but sometimes it'll interact in a way, again, that'll make you just cringe. And you'll just be like, holy shit. And also, there's just so many spots that you can fight in. And then, there's unique animations. And one thing, I hope next year, actually, well, this year, in a few days, 2K22, it'll have more backstage, or they'll redo the backstage area a bit so it's not so like there's plenty to do, and there's so much shit you can do with different superstars in this game, and it's like crazy. I had and will always have fun playing this game. It's like you never really run out of fun things to do, even if you're doing the same thing over and over again. It's like in the old games, you would just go out to Times Square and you just throw someone off a building. It'd be fun for like 6 hours straight, and you're just sitting there pissing yourselves the way you react to each animation every time. Also, another thing in this game is you could fight deep in the crowd for the first time ever. I thought that was a pretty cool way to involve the crowd in the matches. But overall, to give this game a rating, I'm going to give it an 8.5 out of 10. Just for the fun alone, and the bugs in this game really weren't that big of a deal, and they did patch quite a lot of them. So honestly, the final rating of this game, yes, is 8.5 out of 10, and I will stick by that until the day I die. This game is just fun despite the bugs, so if you disagree, go fuck yourself.